Something is shifting. Not loudly, not with dramatic announcement or obvious external change, but something in the quality of your inner life has been moving, quietly, steadily, with a settledness that is different from anything that preceded it. You are no longer searching the way you once searched. The restless scanning of books and teachings and teachers and perspectives, the perpetual feeling that the answer was just one more resource away, one more conversation away, one more breakthrough away, has quieted. Not because you have stopped growing, but because something in you has arrived at a place that the searching was always pointing toward. You are no longer questioning the way you once questioned. The anxious second-guessing of your own knowing, the constant checking of your perceptions against external sources of validation, the specific exhaustion of a mind that could never quite settle into what it actually understood because it was always looking for permission to believe it. That exhaustion has eased. And you are no longer performing the way you once performed. The careful management of how your spirituality appears to others, the explaining and the justifying and the presenting of credentials for beliefs that required no credentials beyond the honest experience that produced them, you are done with all of it. A new phase is emerging, one of intellectual and spiritual loyalty. A season in which the mind and the soul stop negotiating with each other and start moving together, with a clarity and a commitment and an unshakable quality of inner alignment that is among the most significant developments available in a human life. This message is about recognizing that phase, about understanding the 9 signs that it is genuinely underway, and about how to honor what is arriving rather than second-guessing it back into uncertainty. Before we continue, take a slow breath. Subscribe to this channel if you are walking a path of conscious spiritual development. And if this found you at exactly the right moment, leave 1111 in the comments. Now let us walk through 9 signs that you are entering this powerful phase. 1. You stop questioning your truth and start living it. There is a season in every awakening journey that is characterized primarily by searching, by the accumulation of knowledge and perspective and framework, by the earnest, relentless, sometimes exhausting process of trying to understand enough to feel confident in what you actually believe. That season has genuine value. It is how the foundation gets built. Every book that shaped your understanding, every teacher whose wisdom contributed something real, every questioning of old beliefs that revealed them as insufficient, all of it was necessary. All of it was part of the building. But building is not the same as living, and there comes a point where more building is not what is needed. What is needed is the courage to actually inhabit what has been built. You know what you know. Not everything, never everything, and the acknowledgement of that is part of what makes this phase different from arrogance. But enough. Enough to act on. Enough to stop waiting for a certainty that does not require action and start trusting a knowing that already does. You do not need to understand everything before you live according to what you understand. The questions that remain open can stay open. What you already know does not require the resolution of every remaining question before it is worth acting on. This is the shift of the first sign, from understanding as a prerequisite to living as an expression of what is already understood. From seeking enough to feel ready, to trusting that what you already carry is enough to take the next step. The searching does not end because you have found everything. It ends because you have found something real enough to stand on. And standing on it, actually committing your weight to it, is how you discover whether it holds. It holds. 2. You are no longer interested in proving yourself. Think about how much energy went into the proving, the careful explanations of why your path made sense, the defensive positioning against the skepticism of people who did not share your framework, the specific exhaustion of trying to communicate your experience to those who did not have the context to receive it, and trying anyway, again and again, because part of you still needed their understanding in order to feel sure about your own. That season is over. Not because you have become indifferent to other people or closed to genuine exchange, but because the specific need that drove the proving, the need for external validation as a prerequisite for inner certainty, no longer has the hold on you that it once did. Your energy speaks for itself now, not as a boast, but as a simple observation. What you carry is visible to those with the capacity to perceive it without requiring your explanation. And those who do not have that capacity will not be reached by your words, regardless of how carefully you choose them. The performance of spiritual credibility, the management of how your path appears to those who might judge it, takes energy that belongs to the actual walking of the path. And you are done redirecting that energy toward an audience whose approval was never going to be a reliable indicator of whether you were on the right track anyway. Proving yourself requires performing yourself, and you are done performing. 3. Your discernment sharpens to a razor's edge. There is a specific quality of clarity that arrives after enough genuine searching and enough genuine inner work. A clarity that is different in kind from the intellectual understanding that accumulated along the way. It is not primarily cognitive, it is perceptual. The ability to read what is real and what is not in people, in situations, in teachings, in the specific dynamics of any given interaction, not through careful analysis, but through a direct perception that precedes and underlies the analysis. What once required significant effort to assess now reveals itself almost immediately, not because you have become dismissive or have stopped genuinely engaging, but because the specific discernment that years of searching and questioning and wrestling and learning produced has been integrated to the point where it operates naturally rather than effortfully. You are no longer easily swayed by sophisticated presentation of ideas that feel wrong. You are no longer easily impressed by the performance of spiritual development that lacks the substance it is claiming. You know what resonates with something real in you and what does not, and that knowing arrives quickly and holds steady under pressure in ways that earlier seasons of your development did not reliably produce. This is not closed-mindedness. The genuinely discerning mind remains open to what is worth opening to. What it has lost is the specific vulnerability to what was never worth opening to in the first place. 4. Old beliefs fall away without resistance. This sign is one of the most practically significant and one of the most peaceful of the 9. In earlier seasons, the release of an old belief was often a struggle. The identity investment in the previous framework was substantial. The social cost of changing your publicly held positions was real. The specific disorientation of having a belief that once organized your world dissolve was uncomfortable enough that the process of releasing it tended to be effortful, even when it was clearly necessary. Now the old beliefs simply drop away. Like leaves releasing from a tree when their season is genuinely complete, not torn off, not pulled away, not released through effortful struggle, but falling in the natural way of things that have reached their natural completion. There is no mourning, no argument, no guilt about having outgrown what served you in a previous season. No apologizing for the fact that your understanding has evolved past what it used to be. You simply outgrow it and move on. And that ease, that absence of internal wrestling with what you are releasing, is the specific signature of someone who has arrived at a genuine relationship with their own truth that is not threatened by the evolution of it. Your truth is not fragile. It does not require the preservation of every position you have ever held in order to maintain its integrity. It requires only the honesty to acknowledge what has genuinely changed and the courage to let what no longer serves fall away without ceremony. 5. You attract only what aligns with your frequency. This sign is felt before it is understood. A quality of change in what reaches you and what does not that feels almost like the field around you has shifted. That the specific things which used to find their way to your attention no longer do, while what does arrive tends to be more consistently aligned with where you actually are. This is not coincidence, and it is not wishful thinking. It is the natural consequence of frequency operating as it operates. What is resonant with your actual current state tends to move toward you. What is no longer resonant tends not to arrive with the same ease or the same persistence it once had. The teachings that were designed for a more confused version of you are less likely to be what crosses your path now. The relationships organized around dynamics that belong to an earlier chapter are less likely to be what presents itself. The opportunities that would have required you to compress yourself to fit into them simply do not generate the same pull they once did. You are not pushing any of this away. You are not maintaining a defensive posture against what does not fit. You are simply being, fully, at your actual current frequency. And what is genuinely meant for this season is finding you with an ease that feels almost like the natural ordering of things. Because it is. 6. You speak less and act more. There is an inverse relationship in genuine spiritual development between how much someone talks about their path and how deeply they are actually walking it. In the earlier seasons, the searching seasons, the proving seasons, the talking served a function. It was how the understanding was developed and tested. It was how community was built with others on similar paths. It was how the identity of someone on a spiritual journey was maintained and communicated. But as the phase of spiritual loyalty deepens, something changes in the relationship between words and action. The words become less necessary, not because there is nothing worth saying, but because the primary expression of what you know has shifted from speaking it to living it. You used to talk about your path, now you walk it. You used to explain your beliefs, now you embody them. The quietness that has settled into how you engage with your spirituality is not the quietness of having less to say. It is the quietness of someone whose primary communication is no longer verbal. Living your truth is louder than any announcement of it. The way you move through the world, the quality of your presence in it, the specific choices you make, and the specific things you decline to engage with. All of this speaks with a clarity and a consistency that words rarely match. The most powerful thing you can do with what you know is not to explain it. It is to become it so thoroughly that the explanation becomes unnecessary. 7. You feel a deep sense of inner sovereignty. You are not looking for a leader. You are not looking for a guru to organize your understanding, or a teacher to tell you what is true, or a community to validate your experience before you trust it. You are your own authority. Not from ego. The distinction matters, and it is worth sitting with carefully. Ego authority is the claim that you are right and others are wrong. Soul authority is the settled knowing that what you have integrated through genuine experience and genuine inner work is a trustworthy guide for your own path, without requiring it to be the guide for anyone else's. This sovereignty does not make you closed to learning. A genuinely sovereign soul can receive new information, sit with genuine challenge, and integrate what is worth integrating without being destabilized by what is not. The difference between sovereignty and defensiveness is exactly this. Sovereignty allows genuine openness from a place of settled security, while defensiveness performs openness while remaining fundamentally closed. You have done enough genuine inner work to trust your own guidance. Not perfectly, never perfectly, but sufficiently. Sufficiently to act from it without waiting for external permission. Sufficiently to hold your own knowing with a quality of respect that it genuinely deserves. That is sovereignty, and it is one of the most significant arrivals available in a human life. 8. You are unbothered by external opinions. Criticism no longer stings in the way it once did. Not because you have stopped caring about anything or anyone, but because your sense of whether you are on the right path is no longer primarily determined by how others assess it. Praise no longer inflates you in the way it once did, not because appreciation is meaningless, but because the need to receive it in order to feel certain about your direction has genuinely loosened its grip. You have your own center now, your own anchor, the specific quality of settled inner knowing about your path that does not require the shifting currents of other people's opinions to remain stable. This does not mean you have become indifferent to the people in your life, or that the views of those you respect carry no weight. It means that the weight they carry has shifted from determinative to informative. You can hear a perspective without needing to either defend against it or immediately adopt it. You can sit with genuine challenge without being shaken from your foundation. You can receive criticism without requiring it to either devastate you or be dismissed in order for your self-regard to remain intact. What others think about your path is simply not your business in the way it once was. You are loyal to your truth, and that loyalty is now settled enough to hold in the face of opinions that do not share it. 9. You commit fully to your path without looking back. This is the sign that contains all the others. You are all in. Not recklessly, not rigidly, not with the brittle certainty of someone who has decided they already know everything and has no further need of growth or learning, but with the specific quality of full commitment that belongs to someone who has found something real enough to deserve their whole investment. No more half measures. No more maintaining one foot in the old world as insurance against the possibility that the new one might not work out. No more the hedged commitment of someone who has not quite decided whether this is actually where they belong. You have decided. The decision is not born of stubbornness or of the absence of doubt. It is born of the specific recognition that what you have found, the truth you have been walking toward through all the searching and the questioning and the wrestling, is real enough to be worth unreserved loyalty. This is what the phase of spiritual loyalty actually is. Not the closure of your mind, not the end of genuine learning or the rejection of new understanding, but the finalization of your foundation, the decision to stand fully on what you have found rather than continuing to search for something more solid to stand on. The foundation is solid, and you have decided to trust it with your full weight. So how do you honor this phase as it arrives? Trust your knowing. It is not arrogance to trust what you have genuinely earned through genuine experience and genuine inner work. It is alignment, and alignment deserves trust. Stop seeking approval. You have already arrived at something real. The validation of people who have not walked your path adds nothing to the reality of what you carry. Speak your truth with love, but do not water it down. The specific honesty of what you have found deserves to be expressed in its actual form rather than diluted into a version that produces less friction. The people who need it need the real thing. Act on what you know. Knowledge held without action is stagnation. This phase is asking you to move, to let what you understand become visible in what you actually do. Stay grounded. High loyalty without grounding creates rigidity. The phase of spiritual loyalty is most valuable when it is expressed from a place of earthed, embodied, present engagement with ordinary life, rather than from a lofty remove from it. Protect your energy. Not everyone is ready for the quality of clarity you now carry. That is not a judgment of them. It is simply an acknowledgement that your discernment now extends to knowing where what you carry belongs and where it does not. And celebrate your journey. You have earned this. Every season of searching, every difficult questioning, every moment of wrestling with what you needed to wrestle with, it all contributed to the specific settledness you are now inhabiting. That is worth acknowledging. Your challenge this week is to say this aloud each morning with genuine intention, not as a formula, but as a declaration of what is actually true for you right now. I am loyal to my truth. My mind and soul are aligned. I trust what I know. I walk my path without apology. Say it until it stops feeling like something you are trying to convince yourself of and simply becomes the articulation of what you already know to be true. You are not becoming arrogant. You are becoming aligned. You are not closing your mind. You are finalizing your foundation. You have searched. You have questioned. You have wrestled with more than most people ever choose to wrestle with. And now you are resting in what that wrestling produced. That rest is not stagnation. It is arrival. And from this place, settled, clear, loyal to what is real, you are more available to grow, to serve, and to contribute than you have ever been. This is the Messages of the Awakening channel. If this stirred something in you, share it with someone who needs this reminder today. Subscribe for more spiritual awakening content, and leave 1111 in the comments if this found you at exactly the moment your soul needed it. Thank you for being here.